Hello, good morning, Silke. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining the Intrascope Spotlight on Internal Communication series. I do this with practitioners as well as thought leaders from around the world, so I'm very delighted to have you on my show. Before we get started, it'll be great if you could quickly introduce yourself for our viewers.
Sure. Yeah. Good morning, Anisu. Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. And yeah, I am Silke Kramprich. I am based in Hanover in Germany, and I'm a corporate communications manager at Lenze, which is a global leader in industrial automation. My background is international technical communication. That's a combination of languages, that is English and French, engineering, mechanical and electrical engineering, a bit of IT, and a bit of applied linguistics. Yeah, over the years, I've been working in various communication roles. Before I joined Lenze at the beginning of this year, I was a science communicator at the Laser Research Institute here in Hanover, and there I focused on the digital part of science communication. Yeah, now at Lenze, my focus is on internal communications, but I'm also involved in the external part, so you could say I'm in mixternal comms.
Fantastic. No, I like the background that you have, and also I know that you're very passionate about IT certifications. Is that right? And you've been picking that up, and I can see that you've done a lot of those, and it's like almost like a passion and a hobby for you.
Yes, you could say so. This year, I passed a couple of Microsoft certifications to learn the fundamentals of Azure, the Microsoft Cloud, and artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies. And my next goal is to get the basic certification for the Power Platform. Okay. That's my goal for the Christmas holidays. Let's see.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. That's very inspirational. I'm sure that indicates how internal communicators can get closer to the business by understanding the business. So I think that's brilliant. So let's get started by asking you, what is your understanding of internal communication? How do you define it?
For me, internal communications means advancing business goals through communications. So what we do is we provide our colleagues worldwide with the necessary background knowledge that puts their work in context. Right. And to do this, we take a strategic approach. That means we are translating company values and the mission into a topic architecture and a story that basically answers three questions. Question number one is the why. Why do we exist? What is our purpose? Number two, what? The what. What is the core of our business? And number three is the how. How do we work? How do we work together? How do we work with our customers and partners? And what makes us unique? And by answering these questions, we want to give orientation to our employees. We explain the brand and the culture, and we work to create the glue that connects the people to the company, makes them proud to work for the company, and motivates them to perform their work in the best possible way.
Brilliant. I like the structured way of how communication is thought through. And so I'm curious to know, how is it practiced in your organization? So how does all this get implemented?
Yeah, we have a global corporate communications team, of which I am a member, and we are based at the headquarters of Lenze in Hamelin, Germany. And there we work closely with the leadership to make sure that internal communications is in line with their priorities and business goals. Okay. And in addition, we have 37 companies worldwide who are part of the Lenze group, and right. We work with the local marketing and communications people there to carry the three messages through the organization. And in turn, these local marketing and communication colleagues tell us what is happening at their location, so right. that we can share these news through our internal communication channels like the internet, Lenze TV, our staff magazine, or right. Yeah, if the news is also interesting to external target groups, we also share it through social media, press and news releases, and so on.
Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, and it seems like a very complex model, because 37 companies trying to synergize everything. So it sounds very complex and interesting. So if I were to ask you, is there some particular campaign or some particular program that you are personally proud about and which you have done, which you can share an example of?
Yeah. Yeah, our highlight this year, of course, is our anniversary campaign. We are celebrating Lenze's 75th anniversary this year under the motto of the courage of change. And one essential goal of this campaign was to involve the whole worldwide One Lenze family to celebrate all together. And for this, we launched 2 join-in actions. Number 1 was the Courage for Climate Action. There we invited our employees, their families, our customers, partners, and basically everybody interested to move for the climate until we altogether reach 75,000 kilometers. And many people joined in from all over the world, and they registered the distances they ran, walked, climbed, skated, or whatever. And we reached the 70K kilometers. In fact, we even exceeded our goal. And for that, the company donated 37,500 euros to reforestation projects.
Oh, excellent. That's brilliant. That sounds very exciting. For a moment, what, according to you, is the biggest opportunity that you see in internal communications?
Well, I mean, the biggest opportunities.
Right.
Yeah. I believe the heart of every organization are the people who work there. And internal communications can and should listen to the people, make them visible, and make them feel valued. For example, when we share stories about how a colleague is filling the company values with life, we can inspire others to do the same. For example, one of our core values is a partner. And then we share stories about, for example, our innovation team, who is active in various joint research projects with external partners from industry and research. Or we share stories about a colleague who has shared his expert knowledge in a working group of a professional organization where Lenze is involved in. Or we share stories about colleagues who built an internal community about Power BI to exchange knowledge and to learn together. So the bottom line is internal communications can and should provide platforms where the contribution of the employees can be made visible to the whole company.
Got it. And on the other hand, if I ask you, what is the biggest challenge that you see from your perspective?
Yeah, we are facing various challenges, but for me, by far the biggest challenge is proving our ROI, proving our return of invest, because of course we as internal communicators, we know that we are adding value by sharing information, by shaping the culture, shaping the brand, but connecting internal communication efforts to concrete business outcomes is a completely different story. And the question is, which are the relevant KPIs, which indicators truly serve to connect communications to business outcomes. And I mean, it's easy to measure views, no? But even when you know how many people viewed a particular piece of communication, you still don't know if and how it affects their mindset and behavior. So identifying and measuring the right indicators, that's the biggest challenge for me.
Okay. And so, yeah, I mean, related to that question, you know, there is always this discussion that communicators, internal communicators, don't have a seat at the table. So what is it that they can do to add more value to the business?
Well, the communication efforts must add to business goals. You must be able to draw a line. It must be made visible to the leadership, but also to the whole employee community, that it has an effect. It's not just informing and entertaining. There's a strategy behind it, and there's a clear purpose, advancing business goals.
Got it. And as we wrap up, I just wanted to ask you, you know, from a career standpoint, a lot of youngsters who want to join this profession, they are interested. how can they build a career, and also what are the kind of skills that they really need to succeed in this kind of a profession?
Mm. Um, I would say there are three key skills you should have. Number one is you need strong analytic skills, because you need to make sure that your internal communications align with business goals and strategy of the leadership.
Mhm.
Number two is you need good writing skills, because you will be writing a whole lot.
Right.
And number three is you need a basic understanding of digital tools and technologies, because they play a major role in internal and also external communications. And knowing how they work and interact does not only help you in your daily work, but it
Right.
also helps you to shape and further develop internal communications as a whole ecosystem.
Got it. Brilliant. This has been excellent insights. Thank you so much, okay, for taking the time to share these thoughts, and I'm sure it'll be extremely valuable for all the viewers. So again, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. My pleasure.